Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Roll it down just a smidge. There we go. Oops. Now we're good. I think. All right, good. Hey, what's happening?
Looks like a lightsaber as I swing this.
It looks like you're holding a pen and making lightsaber sounds with your mouth, you idiot. Go fill out your ID10T form and shut your mouth.
Damn right.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Battle Bros podcast with myself, Mac, and this handsome guy over here. This is Alamo. How the hell are you out there in listener/viewer land? Okay? Just so you know, there is a hurricane coming up the coast, and the name of the hurricane is Hurricane Decca. What are you going to do to be prepared for Hurricane Decca? Oh, dude, don't make me. I started giggling. My abs are hurting today, dude. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to
Must
have
have
you
thought of a
back.
good
Thanks for
workout,
joining
maybe.
us on a Friday night like we normally are. We're just doing wild and crazy. Okay, we got to stop stealing everybody's shit. Seriously. We're just stealing like, what bits can we steal this week?
Wild and crazy dudes.
Let's do wild and crazy, guys. Anyway, we're two buddies, two guys that have known each other since high school. That's over 20 years, unfortunately. We are aging ourselves there. Carbon dating, as they say.
By the way, happy Cinco, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Or for all. Ow, my stomach. Jesus. Oh, my ab. I used the ab roller for the first time in like forever. Fucked myself up.
Oh wait,
Jeez.
no, I did the wrong song. It's
You were right. They're both. I was gonna say they're both interchangeable, but that would be really fucked up. So I'm glad I didn't say that out loud. Oh wait a minute, I did. Tequila.
yeah.
Oh my god. And for all you nerds out there, just like the rest of us, May the 4th
Be with
be
you.
with you. And for those evil
Related.
people, Revenge of the 5th.
Yes.
It's also cool because we're getting into Mental Health Awareness Month, so that's kind of very important to what we're doing here on this show. So, yeah, that's going to kind of come into play here this week and next week. Which
I was
next
just
week,
scribbling on the calendar as you said that too. That's hilarious.
next week is going to be. This is episode 065 this week. Next week is going to be episode 066, which is our season 3 finale. Hard to believe we've already done 3 full 22 episode seasons. It's like, holy shit, where's the time fly? But if you noticed last week, and we're both sitting here just like all zombified and shit, you can understand why. So, but yeah, so we're going to talk about some cool stuff this week and next week to kind of wrap up our season. We're going to take a decent break over the summer, and we'll be back with you cool cats and fine felines at the end of the summer when the kids start back to school. I don't know why I just sound like a 1950s radio DJ, but we're just going to call that a loss and go from there.
I hope all you cool cats and kittens out there are ready for this fine, smooth tune.
Damn, you do that so effortlessly. Ready. I hate you, man. I really hate how that's just so fucking easy for you, you turd. I got to think about it. I'm like, what the fuck do I say? And you're just like, hey, everybody. Damn you, Macho, for being all the talent. Shit. Anyway, so like I said, we've known each other since high school. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome.
Again, too long.
Rundown.
We can
way
do
too
this
long.
to each other,
and we can read each other's thoughts, and it's just like the telepatheticness is strong in these two. But yeah, we got started on this a while back, and it's been like 2 full years now that we've been doing this, 3 seasons almost, and I'll tell you more about it later on the flip side. But it's something that we get to do almost every Friday night. We have a lot of fun doing it, even though during the week it is the death of us because we have so much other shit going on. It's just like And yes, I know I'm wearing a hat. My hair looks like shit. As Brian would say, I look like I have Dan Aykroyd hair from Ghostbusters 2 because I have a large nugget. And you're probably laughing at home in your car right now if you see my picture because you're going, he's
So
got it.
does Dan Aykroyd, though.
Yeah, he's
It's
got a
not a
big.
bad thing.
He's kind of a bit of a nerd, brainiac and shit. So
Goes with the Gozerian. I do. I couldn't even do it. Damn it.
good evening. As a duly appointed representative of the Tri-City, County, and State of New York, I ask that you retreat to the nearest parallel dimension. Are you a god? No? Then
Die.
okay, listen. For that movie to stand the test of time, like, listen,
Oh,
it only gets. It's like wine, dude. It gets better with age. It's still
heck yeah,
pertinent.
dude.
The third one was dope as hell.
Oh God,
No,
yeah.
listen. If you're out there thinking, well, what about the one with stop your, shut your damn mouth. We're gonna forget. We're gonna cancel that one and forget that it
We don't
existed.
talk about that one.
It's like we might as well call it Bruno. We don't talk about
No,
Bruno.
no,
No, no,
no,
no.
no.
Yeah, exactly. I can't sing either, and I just bumped the microphone with my hat. So, all right, yeah, we're gonna be stupid. So, if you, what did we talk about last week, Alamo? I fucking forget, man.
We talked
Hold on,
about
I got the list.
stuff.
We
That's what
talked
we-
about environment.
Environment.
Yes, and how that
Not
was
that kind of environment, folks.
it was very, very important that we talked about it. It was great.
Although I will say that saving the trees is very, very fucking important, and we need to make sure that we.
Dude, stop. Dude. Okay, hold on. Before we get into the show, I gotta tell you. So my mom and I have been watching reruns of NYPD Blue, which was a fantastic cop show for its time.
I was gonna say,
It,
yeah, I heard that.
it was on from like 93 to like 2005, I think. It was on for like 12 seasons.
I was gonna say it was on for a while.
And the whole premise of the show was they just wanted to convey the realisticness of the life of the New York City police detective and all. And like they do it for, okay, so what I appreciate now being a behavior therapist is like the realism in the shit that they show people that are not, they're a little bit off, or because you got to think about it. Okay, autism spectrum disorder is commonplace knowledge nowadays. We've really taken some leaps and bounds of being able to identify a lot of these diagnoses. I don't want to call them disorders, but just for what they are. It's a diagnosis.
Yeah.
We live in a time when that kind of stuff is commonplace knowledge. Back then, they just had little euphemisms like, I think his cheese slid off his cracker, or maybe his butter slipped off of his noodles. Like the guy says in Green Mile, when that one dude Percy shoots Wild Bill, he's sitting there going, I think his butter slipped off his noodles. Because that's how they explained it back then. They didn't have all that kind of knowledge and stuff. But it's really good at capturing. It does a really good job of capturing the essence of the 90s and early 2000s, and then I would assume life in New York City. So they're investigating a crime last night, and they find this victim's car, and on the back of it, it had a it had a bumper sticker. Hold on, let me get through this. Hold on, I got the vapors. Hold on. The bumper sticker said, save the trees, wipe your ass with an owl.
Oh, lovely.
If that's not the most New York shit I've ever heard of my life. Oh, man. Dude,
Bro,
I giggled at that so hard.
Save a tree, wipe your ass with an owl. Okay?
which Alamo just reenacted every damn family gathering I've ever had between him and his sister. Wipe your ass with an owl, like that whole euphemism talking. Oh my!
Oh shit.
No offense to your lovely sisters Marina and Nilka and all them; they're all lovely people. However, that's the way y'all talk. Y'all get together. You're like, hey, go up to Fenway, wipe your ass with an owl, stick it to the green monster, call it a fucking day.
That's Boston.
I know, but still, y'all got that rivalry. So it's
Shea
okay.
Stadium, the Bombers Stadium, aka the Yankees.
Are you a Mets? Oh, I was about to say, you're not a Mets fan, are you? So explain it to me.
A
It's
little bit of both.
so like there's like half the city follows one way, other half follows. If you're not Yankees, then you're
For
the
the
Mets fan.
most part, Bronx typically follows the Yankees, aka the Bombers. Don't get it
The
twisted.
I see he's even talking in the accent, folks, and we got the
Um,
bombers.
Queens and I believe Brooklyn and a couple
But
of the other boroughs tend to go
so
along with the
go
Met.
through like this. Go through the sports team. So like you have the Yankees on one half. On one side, you've got the Yankees. You've got the Knicks, the Knickerbockers. You got
Knickerbockers,
Knickerbockers. You got the Yankees, the
New
Knicks. You
York
got
Jets, and the New York Giants.
in the Ranges. In the
And the
Ranges. Is there
Rangers,
another?
right?
Is there
That's
another
hockey.
New York team? Right. And then the other side of that, you'd have the Mets. You'd have the Nets, the Mets, the Nets, because which the Brooklyn, they're the Brooklyn Nets now because they moved from New
Hmm.
Jersey.
That's
You got
right.
the Mets, the Nets. You got the Jets. Oh, I see. Okay, that's easy to remember. You got the Mets, Nets, and Jets. It's like no shit. That's fucking easy. And then you
The
got the new.
Knicks.
You got there's not another basketball team.
Mhm.
You said the Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks.
Yeah, but that's on the other side for the Yankees and stuff. Is it literally
Correct.
split down the middle?
It's well, I mean, you got to remember the home stadium for the Knicks is like Madison Square Garden, so that they kind of cover at least a couple of boroughs. They cover Manny, the Bronx,
Manny
freaking
Hanny. What?
Manny,
Is that
Manhattan.
Manhattan? That's what they
Yeah,
call it? Manny
yeah,
Hanny? I never heard that
Manny,
before.
yeah, Manny, the Bronx, and then you got and then I think the Nets. I think the Nets is more of a Brooklyn Queens team. To be tell you the honest truth.
And what are the five boroughs again? You got Brooklyn, Manny Hanny. You got Staten
Brooklyn,
Island. Yeah,
Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens,
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Staten
That's
Island.
right.
So
Long Island,
where's?
we don't count that. That's a suburb. That's a suburb of the city.
Oh, okay. So that's not a borough. Okay,
No,
got it.
that's a suburb of the city.
See, even Florida man can learn something.
Did
Anyway,
you
all right.
see? There's a Netflix series called Florida Man on it.
Shut up. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
it's an action comedy series.
Can I show you the shirt that I'm wearing?
Oh God.
It's like,
You'd be that guy.
I didn't plan it. I was like, no. Damn it.
Oh shit.
Oh crap. Anyway, folks, let's get into the show, shall we?
Let's
So
do it.
last episode we had was 064. We talked about environment. So tonight we're gonna have a slightly different conversation. We're not really gonna have to do too much reading of articles and stuff. We found a couple of little quick ones that we're going
Little
to
snippies.
little snippets that we're gonna go through, but we're gonna talk about being uncomfortable or being comfortable in an uncomfortable moment, right?
Indeed.
So let's kind of dive into this. So we've all had those moments where you get that anxiety, you feel that tightness in your chest, you get dry mouth, like the first time you had to go up in front of your class and give a book report or a damn
Oh
essay
God,
or
yeah.
something like
Uh-huh.
that. So, and I can equate this to a very commonplace experience with somebody that we both know. When I was in high school, my senior year, I took ROTC, and I was like, let's give this a try. Let's see what this is like. Ended up
Oh,
really
there's
liking
no
it.
getting away from public speaking in that one.
Oh no! So our old ROTC instructor, who I believe is still there, First Sergeant George Spence.
That's First Sergeant George Spence. Okay.
The C
Now,
is Constantine, but it also stands for cash money.
mhm.
Yeah, you said that shit all the time.
He sure the fuck did. Yeah, good old first sergeant Spence, man.
So he set the bar pretty high for military leadership, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that he did. But anyway, so I was kind of in a very unique position. I went from being a cadet sergeant, I was a squad leader, ended up being a cadet sergeant the first half of the year, and then it was my last semester of my high school career altogether. It was the second half of my senior year, and I went from being a squad leader and bumped up to a cadet first Louis. I was an XO for Company C, and he's like, he's please don't do the impersonation because you're gonna make me start giggling, and my fucking stomach hurts already.
It's
So
hard to not, and
I know,
it's not hard. It's hard to not want to
I
do
know,
the impersonation
I
for a
know.
sergeant.
It just bite your tongue, hold what you got, stand by.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so he comes up and he goes, "I'm gonna get up and talk for a few minutes. I need you to like skim and scan over this article out of the Let One manual, which is Let is leadership and education training level one. Like we always go out of the Let manual. Um, freaking see, I'm doing it too. I almost said it like him too. Like Jesus, but
Now, there, Mac. Hold it together. Okay.
as long as you don't tell me about making a fruit smoothie, okay? This is so good. And if you went, listen, if you went to Armwood, you know what we're talking about. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's just like.
Hmm.
But anyway, so he gets up there and like he is very very unabashedly good at public speaking. I mean, he's had to have been. He's a retired Army first sergeant. I believe he's also minister. If I'm correct. If I'm
He
correct.
is a minister. Yes,
Yeah,
he married Brandy and
George George
George
Galego.
Gallego. Yeah,
Yeah,
he married them. Yeah,
and those guys are still together, still married. Like, good for
they
them.
are
Good for them.
damn right, dude.
They both look like they haven't aged a day, if anything. So,
I
but
know.
anyway, so he tells me he's like, I'm gonna stall for a few minutes, get up there and talk. I want you to skim and scan over this lesson, and ironically, the lesson was how to speak in front of an audience. I'm like, seriously, that's what we're doing. All right. So I pretty much just kind of got up there and just was kind of like, there's no nuts in that. We'll feed that to him. Hey, it's literally pulling shit out of my ass. And it wasn't. I was like, well, holy crap! It's like Chris Farley said, "Holy shnikes, it worked." So it's like okay, and that just and I kind of got good at doing that. And but
Hmm.
that first time though, oh, dude, just sucked so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And like just the pit in your stomach, sweaty palms, like you feel uncomfortable. The whole schmear, just awful. What's the first experience that comes to mind for you there, Alamo?
I mean, honestly, for me, it's gonna sound crazy, but it's honestly drama for me. You know, my freshman year of high school, I really didn't kind of get all that into all the leadership stuff. Like I ended up going into like a couple of the teams and things like that and being on drill team and then the next year after that I ended up being on Raiders and such and whatnot
Wouldn't you say that's kind of important though? Like you kind of have to learn to be a part of a team before you can be a leader.
before you can lead. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say absolutely. And the trick to that thing is like I've always been very, very hyper, very, very like outspoken and kind of like out there. But when it comes to
No.
but when it comes to like being in front of like a lot more people other than like say my own social group, it was always very difficult for me. It always ended up being of course the cat is trying to get out of the room. Live show, folks.
Handle your business. Let the cat out of the bag. Ah, 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 ah. You didn't hear what I said, did you?
I did not.
I said, "Let the cat out of the bag." Ah, ah,
So,
ah.
so
And for
um,
those of you at home listening to these corny ass jokes, and you're just like, "Oh my god, would they just shut the fuck up and get on with it?" That's the uncomfortable that we're talking about.
exactly. So,
So good.
along comes drama class. Along comes drama, and
That was
um,
your senior year, right? You got into drama in your
I
senior
got
year.
into drama my senior year, yes, but I
Okay.
started doing plays well into my sophomore year. So here comes my sophomore year, and um,
So
I'm
you were just like
now
what? You just kind of auditioned for it, but you weren't really in the drama classes.
correct. I was not in the drama classes, but I basically just volunteered for everything that kind of came along. If it had just involved me trying to be in there and doing stuff.
So I do remember the
So
big one that you were in that you were everyone was like, "Holy crap, he's so good in." Was when you were in the Crucible. What do you think it was your senior year?
yes, it was the Crucible. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "Dude, Almo's fucking stellar as shit in this thing." I'm just like, man, wish I would have known that before it closed out. I didn't go see it. I'm a turd friend. Well, that's right. It was your senior year. I was already out of high school, so
You were out of high school. You were, I think, getting ready to go to Ask Krakistan at the time.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So, um, right there, when I started doing like when I started acting in front of others, is when my ability to like really just because you think about a fact that I was as extroverted as I always was. I was always very shy, very like I didn't like you know
So your
doing things.
your extroverted nature. That was gonna sound bad if I try to make a word. I speak
Or
words.
we do speak words.
Your quality of being extroverted was pretty much a facade to your shyness on the
Correct.
inside.
Correct. Yes.
Interesting. And how did that make you feel, Alamo?
And now I don't give a fuck.
He took that uncomfortable part and just said, "Yeah, fuck it."
Yep, pretty much. My, that was kind of like I guess in a weird way, just the way that I broke out of my shell is like I got comfortable being, you know, uncomfortable with, letting out, a lot of, my expression about who, like letting out who I was essentially. And I allowed other people to see that, and it was very liberating. It was very liberating.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was very liberating for me because it allowed me to, where people would say, because I was always told like, oh, you got to calm down, you got to relax, blah, 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 blah. Which obviously there's, I struggled for a little bit finding that balance, but it's when it came down to it, it was very
Let's
liberating.
bring your mom in here to talk about it. She's in the other room. Mom, come on the show. I'm just kidding. She'd be like, "I don't want to talk in your damn show. No, I'm
No,
watching you. I'm watching
no,
my
no.
grandbabies."
I know exactly what she would say. This is exactly what she'd say right here. And she would go, Nacho, I don't want to go on camera. My hair's not done. I don't know. No, I can't do that. No, I'm not doing that. And he's laughing because he knows that's exactly what my mom would say.
So can we give your mom a blast of shit for a minute because we love her?
Oh,
She wouldn't
sure.
get on camera because my hair's not done. I got the makeup on. But this woman, God bless her, gets dressed up so she can find a man at Walmart's. It's like, you don't want you to find no man at Walmart. She goes, you never know there, Dusty. Okay, you never know. Like you could, your soulmate could be right around the corner, and I'm gonna look good just in case he show up. Okay, it's like that's
Yeah,
exactly what she said.
my mom.
So another moment of being uncomfortable that I can think of, where I just had to push past it, was the fact that very much introverted kid going through boot camp We just started the GWAT. I'm in boot camp in '03. I don't like heights. And here I am going down the fucking rappel tower. And what makes matters worse, I'm going to reenact this here for a minute. Hold on. I'm here looking up like at the drill sergeant. He's like, "Hey, numbnuts, take your guide hand away. Hold it up in the air. Keep your hand on the brake. Keep your hand on the brake. You're fine, stupid." Got a camera right here in my face watching me go down. I'm just like, just freaking the fuck out, man. I'm just like, oh,
God.
Jesus. I hated that crap. It's
Mhm.
absolute garbage. Now I'm talking like you guys. Oh my gosh.
It's garbage, bro. It's garbage.
Hey, man, we gotta go down to the. Hey, yo, Mr. Ramirez, why the cat always sleeping on the fucking bread, yo?
He live here.
Okay, so we just derailed this whole
Every
thing.
time you come in the store, you buy the same fucking 40. You give me the $3, I give you the 50 cents. That's it. It's a fucking great shit. Oh
What
my
is that
god.
dude's name? He's so funny.
I don't remember. I gotta
Oh,
find him though.
bald headed, like, I forget what ethnicity is. He's Hispanic, obviously, but
No, I
he
think
had.
he was Jamaican. I think he's well, New York Jamaican anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I
Yeah.
mean makes sense. Because I think
Yeah. No,
he
he's
even talks about him on on that same show.
It's. I think he's like doing like Def Comedy Jam or something, like
He
Showtime at the
was, yeah,
Apollo or some shit.
back
And
when Def Comedy Jam actually was
oh,
still a thing.
dude, those things are great. Those clips are still fucking amazing. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
let's get back on
Let's
track
keep
here.
going.
What'd you railing? So yeah, so I'm going down freaking Eagle Tower on Sand Hill, and they have some jackass come up and stick a camera literally right in my face, and I'm just like, son of a bitch. And they're watching me go down the rappel tower, but I tried not to bitch out in front of the other guys just because you didn't want to be that guy, kind of thing. So,
Mhm.
you know, so
Mind you, your legs are like doing this while you're going down belay, just
oh yeah.
like you're
Oh
sitting
no,
there like
while
that.
you're on rappel, belay is at the bottom.
Oh
You're
yeah, on propel. Excuse me. Yeah, you're not wrong. My brain doesn't work sometimes. Um,
my brain doesn't work a lot of the time. Just throwing that out there, you know.
um, but yeah, man, I, I think a lot of it just comes down to, you know, in a very weirdly, but also funny enough, short kind of like what you call it, like it comes down to just facing your fears, really.
Yeah, like there's especially and I'm not trying to just talk about me here, but like I know for me, I was not your typical guy going to basic training because I was very
Mhm.
introverted. I was very shy. I didn't even play any team sports in high school.
Yeah.
Pee wee football, little league wrestling, none of that shit. I was a fucking band nerd in high school, and I was okay with that. I didn't care. But then like you're sitting here and like you're showering around a bunch of other naked men. You're just like, I did not sign up for the Navy. What the fuck is this about? Nope, nope. Don't want to see all this. No. Okay. Straight
Yeah.
ahead all times. Lock your fucking neck. You're only move with
See,
your shoulders. Like,
I was a completely different animal. I was just like, hey guys, eggs over easy.
oh,
You bu-
I just pictured that. Uh, who likes eggs with their sausage? But at
oh
the same
shit.
time, so like for me, a lot of basic training was just being uncomfortable as fuck, man.
Oh yeah.
Like
You
especially
know, I think
especially when you went through like the obstacle course and you just got all that sand and mud and shit inside your uniform,
oh
and then
dude.
they have
Yeah.
that freaking hose hanging down like this, and you and your battle buddy have to walk under it real quick. So you just going
Yeah.
home, just sandy, gritty, and drenched and all that shit. Like, look, if you haven't seen what we're talking about, like, look at the thumbnail for this episode. That
Yeah.
dude in the mud and shit, like Tough Mudder, Mud Race, all that kind of stuff.
The whole idea behind it, though, is like they want to instill in you the ability to continue to move and continue to perform in the face of absolute adversity. You're
True.
not in
I
combat, especially as an infantryman, especially as like if you went in to do what we did, y- you're not going to be comfortable. There are going to be times where shit's going to be blowing up around you. You're going to be dirty as hell.
You're
You're going to
going
go
to
for
be
weeks on
cold,
end without a
wet.
shower.
You're going to be cold. You're going to be wet. You're going to be tired. You're going to be sleepy all the fucking
Funky.
time. You're going to smell bad. Baby wipes are your friend.
Baby
Okay.
wipes are your best friend, not just your friend, your best friend.
A friend will help you pick up stuff that you knocked that fell down. A real friend will will take a tick off your balls in the woods and the fucking FTX. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about uncomfortable till you spread your cheeks freaking with for Doc to sit there and see if you got any ticks up in your balloon knot.
Or chiggers.
Ugh.
God, just gives me the willies thinking about it. Ooh, I got
I
the
don't ever.
goosely pimples.
You get the goose pimple.
Yeah. Chiggers,
So,
man.
what about for your civilian career? What kind of uncomfortableness have you had? Like, I can remember when you and I worked together, dude. When it was you, me, and John. Like, we'd be sitting there, assholes elbows deep at the range counter, just customers all the way down the counter on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. You're just like, fuck. And then like something goes wrong, something breaks, and you got to talk to somebody blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. Like, I remember, like, when customers used to get pissed, I could literally just feel my neck just going, gaga, 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 just beating, like, my damn jugular was going to, like, pulsate itself out of my freaking neck flesh over here. I was just like,
Yeah.
son of a. And then after a while, you get used to customers being shitty and not being shitty all the time, but, a decent proportion of them. A decent
Yeah.
portion, like 25 to 75% of them are all dicks,
Oh,
but they
dude.
got but they got firearms, so you kind of have to temper that with that. So it's just like, yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
hey, we had firearms too now.
Well, yeah, we used to. They don't anymore. A lot of places don't anymore, just because of liability. Because it's a lie of fucking ability.
I'm very surprised by that. But okay.
Well, for not to name any names or something, not, but I know for one of the place that we worked, there were too many, uh,
NDs.
not NDs, but too many, yeah, too many of those.
On the range.
Those, yeah, with rental guns, so
That
too much of that crap. So
also makes sense.
I don't think they can ever rent it there anymore. So because of that,
If I was them, I would never. Yeah.
which sucks because how many guns do you think we sold to people just off of like having them? Because we had like a little bit of everything right there at that counter. It's like, try this, try this, try this, try
Mhm.
this, da 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 da, all that kind of shit. Like we were pretty good at what we did, man. Like
Mhm. Oh yeah.
we did our part for the
We
Second
did we
Amendment.
did our dealing. The I would say honestly on the civilian side, I mean, reaction with people, interactions with people never really bothered me. I don't think interactions with people, I don't think has ever really been necessarily like, especially like one on one,
Mm-hmm.
never have been a problem for me. So in the customer service side, that was never a big deal. I would say venturing out on my own for the first time, having to worry about rent and having to worry about power and having to
Yeah,
worry about
that's
all of that
man.
shit. And
I didn't
and
even think about that. That's a good point.
in all
Yeah,
honesty,
dude, that first place you get when you're on your own, it's like it's up to me.
but
What's
it's
there's
satisfying
Yeah,
knowing
yeah,
that you're
yeah, it
making
is.
it
No,
fun, you know?
there's a veteran owned company called 30 Seconds Out, and one of their little decals they have, like stickers or like decals that they have. One of the mottos that they have on their merchandise, it says No one is coming. Expect to self rescue. It's like, fuck it. Preach, dude. Preach that shit. Absolutely, man.
But
Oh,
it was it
God.
was it was satisfying, man. Like, cause I was trying to save up money for at least a couple years where I had enough where I could basically save up enough money to basically, you know, because I honestly originally I was trying to buy a house when I
Yeah.
had gotten home. I wasn't trying to rent. I wasn't trying to do any of that crap. I
Well, not
wanted
now with the rental market in this fucking town.
yeah. Yeah.
Kiss my giblets.
Back then it wasn't a problem.
Oh no,
But
back then it was bad. Like, and we struggled back then because, dude, I remember, me and my daughter's mother when we moved in together, and then we got our.
the spawn of I'm kidding. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Don't talk shit about my kid. Calm the fuck down.
Not her.
Well, don't talk bad about her. She's the mother of my child. It's all good. Whoa, we don't need to get into that. Okay,
Roger.
let's just acknowledge there are some realities. We made a kid together. Great. We're no longer together. Unfortunately, we've both moved on. Here we are today. That being
Yar.
said, Oscar Mike, how about it? Anyway,
Roger that.
Charlie Mike, as I was Charlie Mike. So, but yeah,
Roger.
dude, there were days like when, man, like we had to go and just keep freaking doing, whatever we could. Like you go to buy groceries and it's like we have $20 for the next 2 weeks. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
You remember those days? Like you just like, oh, I gotta put gas in the car. And just
And
rough.
back then there was no like Uber Eats or anything like
No,
that
no,
where you had like a side hustle. You know what I mean? There was none of that
no.
shit back then.
You,
Like,
I mean, if you had a
God, what I
side
would have
hustle, it
done
might have
for a
been like
side hustle
selling
like that.
selling plasma or something, or donating blood or some
Fuck
shit.
yeah.
That's a real side hustle, like mowing
But
lawns
dude,
and shit.
how like I remember like before let's just say that just to put it out there, like me and my mom were not on the best of terms when we moved out exactly. Uh
Is that why you moved out, or you weren't on the best terms because you moved out?
is well, I would say a little bit
Or,
of both.
or
After I
oh,
moved out, it was why did you move out? And before I moved out, it was like, oh, like let's just say there was stressors that forced
yeah.
me to be
No, I
like, you
get
know
that,
what?
dude.
I think I'm gonna do bad by myself over here.
So
Um,
I'm gonna pop smoke and
yep.
Ninja vanish.
Trailer Park Ninja. Um, but yeah, so I ended up moving
Oh
out
Jesus!
way earlier than expected because I was trying to save up for an extra year. Um, and but I mean, dude, when I moved into my place and set up everything, had my freaking own kitchen, my own area where I was.
Own kitchen. You could have the PlayStation hooked up to the big screen TV out in the living room. You got the
Yes,
surround sound hooked up. Like, fuck them neighbors. I don't give a
yep,
shit.
dude. Not a single problem, not a single problem with anything other than like it was so fucking nice just sitting on my couch, being able to just chill and fucking play games and just relax.
Knowing your weird ass, it's like I'm sitting on my couch, butt ass naked, playing PlayStation. Life is
Damn right.
good, son.
Damn
Life is
right.
good.
There were many fucking nights of me just sitting in my living room, naked on my couch, playing fucking PlayStation, playing Xbox, whatever. I
And
gave
now we're
no
going to
fuck.
cut over to the perspective of the nighttime delivery guy so he can talk about being comfortably uncomfortable. Yo, man, put on some pants, bro. Just dropping off your game from GameStop, you bastard.
Oh shit!
Oh.
But you know, it was nice, dude. But it is what it is. Unfortunately,
Oh, man. Sorry.
fortunately though, I will say that probably saved me and my mom's relationship. To tell you the honest truth,
Yeah, that's fair.
you
That's
know.
fair. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, like, there's been plenty of times It's like, so I saw somebody I've seen in a while. They're like, dude, what happened to your ass? Because I guess like being in the army, when you're rucking all the time, like you got a nice set of glutes.
You got booty.
You got a booty, And I looked at him and I was just like, yeah, I guess I got it chewed off too many times. It never grew back or something like this. Like it's not wrong, but like I remember, dude, like one of the first times I got chewed out by one of my bosses, I was just like,
Ugh.
that sucks. I'm gonna get
And,
fired. Yeah,
and you know what was funny is
and then
like
I did, and I was just like, okay,
you know what was funny is for whatever reason, whenever I got chewed out, it never bothered me. And it's not because I always thought I was better than them. It was because I was just like, okay. it was it was very much like in my mind
yeah.
rationalizing it the way I did. It was kind of the idea of, well, you're not experiencing it with me right then and there, so you don't know the situation. So I'm gonna be like, yep. I'll take that into advisement.
Totally get that. So we're going to cut to one of the articles that we found for this. This is from medium.com. It's called The Art of Being Uncomfortable, and it's by a guy named Stephen Kang.
Steven.
So it says, throughout my life, I've attempted to learn an enormous list of different skills, both useful and not so much. Spoken languages, programming languages, instruments, party tricks, etc. During all of these attempts, I've found that the learning curve is determined by how uncomfortable you are with the growing pains associated with learning anything new. Something that not many people realize is that this discomfort zone is not an obstacle to be overcome, it's a puzzle, and every puzzle has a solution. I've been coding as a hobby since I was a child, but at the beginning of my first foray into professional development, which was something else, I was given a piece of advice that stuck with me ever since. Oh, you're showing that. So, Lighthouse Labs Web Development Bootcamp. I've been given a piece of advice that has stuck with me ever since. Get comfortable getting uncomfortable. I think we just heard that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never know as much as you want to. Whether you're learning to speak French, play the piano, or bake a cake, all the reading in the world won't prepare you for how much you're going to fail before you succeed. Being comfortable is a sure sign that you're still learning and improving. Personally, there are three rules that I follow to make sure I'm staying out of my comfort zone. Rule number one: forget where you want to be, focus on where you're at. Man, ain't that the damn truth? We all
Dude.
want to be next. We all want to be the next insert name of expert. We all know for Alamo, he wants to be the next, what's that guy's name? Gaggins? David
David
Gaggins?
Goggins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he wants to be the next Jocko Willink. We all know that it's going to take a while. What we don't all know is that the time you spend learning is not going to be a steady climb to greatness. It's more of an embarrassing, unstable, teetering hobble through a muddy swamp. Thinking about the light at the end of the tunnel is a common motivational tool for individuals working toward a distant goal, but it's not uncommon for the light to move further and further away as you realize just how difficult your goal will be to achieve. It's always daunting to think about how far you still have to go, but it's important to acknowledge that you will always have a ways to go. Think about what specific aspects you fall short on and work on them. Before you know it, you'll be 10 steps further and it'll still feel inadequate. Get used to this. Like I was talking to a client today and him and I have been kind of having some time where we can just kind of, engage in some freelance activity kind of stuff, and they have a pool table, and he's like, "How are you so good?" I said, "Dude, I just when I can, I'll I rack up the balls, I'll break them, and then I freaking just go to work and I just start practicing. That's how you get better. You just sit there and you play a game against yourself. You play all on one side
Yep.
before you have to switch over to the other side. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. All that good stuff. And that's still kind of a foreign concept to this person, but hey, every day you just work on a little bit more. And tell you one thing, you know, just it ain't gonna happen unless you put in the work. So,
Damn right.
rule number 2: try things that are too difficult. This rule is a little controversial. A lot of people will likely disagree with me on it, but hear me out. I'll illustrate my point with a couple hypotheticals. You want to learn Korean, so you take a few classes on basic grammar, language structure, and vocabulary. They teach you to say hello and where is the bathroom, but you'll need more lessons to really understand how to build a sentence or a question. The idea behind this example is that you're building a foundation to gradually increase your knowledge base and ability to speak a new language. Now, the next example: you want to learn Korean. You ask your Korean tutor slash teacher how to say, "Hey, how would you like to grab some lunch at McDonald's?" It's a little bit complicated and long, but you can break it down to understand how different components connect to form the question. In Korean, this would literally translate to, "Hey, at McDonald's, lunch, want to eat?" This is the principle behind most intensive and concentrated programs. The idea is to give you concepts that are just out of reach, then break them down into digestible components. Our brains are wired to break down complex problems into parts that are easier to digest. It's more challenging to learn this way, but much more effective. As an added bonus, it'll probably make you more uncomfortable, which, as we've learned, is a good thing. Rule number 3: stop trying so hard sometimes. Perseverance is key, but trying too hard is a good way to get stuck and can be harmful to morale. Taking breaks not only gives your brain a chance to rest, but also provides you opportunities to think about your progress. If you're stuck, take some time to think about how to get yourself out. If you feel like giving up, take some time to reevaluate whether learning what you're learning is worth your time. A common problem I see when people are trying to learn new things is an obsession with improving and a crucial lack of enjoyment. Sometimes the best thing you can do to help yourself progress is just to take a break to enjoy how far you've come. Even if all you've learned is how to print "Hello World" in Java, take a second to appreciate that knowledge and change "Hello World" to "Hello Butts" or something. Not that I've done it or anything. Being uncomfortable is a healthy sign that you're growing. It's not as easy as saying, "Okay, I'm uncomfortable." That's good, right? It involves a lot of research into your own mental state and a will to solve problems that are stunting your growth. When you're solving said problems, always remember the light at the end of the tunnel is never as close as you think. Try things that are too difficult for you. Don't push yourself too hard. And most importantly, get comfortable getting uncomfortable. You'll never know as much as you want to. Dude, that one is hit the nail right on the head. I mean,
Heck yeah.
there's
I
if you think anything worth having is going to be easy,
was gonna
like,
say comes easy. No,
no, not at all.
nothing that, especially in the pursuit of
Hail
a dream
to the
or something
now.
to that freaking what you call it. It's never gonna come easy. Um, like I mean, hell, like I mean, we've been working at our podcast for a little over 2 years now, right?
And there's still shit that we want to do for our
And
for our brand, for
yeah,
our and we just got to take it one step at a time. Do
we're
I
still
wish
growing, dude.
would it be nice to have a bunch of followers? Yeah.
And to like explode in like views, ugh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah,
Do we know that that comes with time?
yeah.
We try to remember that. Do we often cry about how many little viewers we have? No. Promise myself I wouldn't cry. Just kidding. But that's not what it's about. It's all about being humble. It's uncomfortable, but we're kind of used to it. And
I mean, look at us from our first episode to now.
oh god, dude, that first episode is so cringe. Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
The whole time you were just like this.
I look like a fucking creepo. I'm just
No, oh no, it wasn't like this. It was just like that.
hi. Welcome to the Battle Bros podcast. I'm Mac. This
I
is
was
Alma.
overly enthusiastic, and
Work the
you were.
arms, asshole. Work the arms.
I, I was overly enthusiastic. You were just
But see, that's such a
high.
fascinating example you brought up too, because like I was used to talking in person. Like, I also had to, you know, dude, in the course of my job working in firearms retail, end up being an apartment manager at a large retailer, having to give safety briefs and stuff, and like, when I'm being partly in charge of like events. We had shopping tours that came down
You went
from.
from that to I don't know what to do with my hands.
Shut! I wasn't that bad, you asshole. You suck, dude. Let's read this other one so we can get the hell out of here, because he's making me uncomfortable, you jerk. Stupid jerks.
Stupid jerky
So this
jerk.
is called the art of getting uncomfortable being the art of getting comfortable being uncomfortable by Renew Canapathy. Canapathy, and if I say your last name wrong, I'm sorry. This was published back in 2018. This article is almost 5 years old. It says
Yeah.
here, I'm sitting on the lap of a man I just got to know, surrounded by a group of strangers, minutes from jumping out of a plane at 15,000 feet. As the light in the airplane turned green, someone popped open the door and people started jumping out with a parachute, of course.
Tandem jumps.
Yeah, pretty much. You first, I think, 5 or so hour tandem until you learn to do it yourself. My heart
Yep.
began to beat faster, my mouth dry and my palms sweaty. On my sweater already, Mom's spaghetti. But I knew that we were long. Sorry, that was. Oh, Lord, I apologize. Because I'm starting to pig me down there, New Guinea.
Lord, I apologize.
Oh man. But I knew that we were a long way from the ground, and there was apparently only one way down. We walked towards the gaping hole in the plane where there was previously a door. My
Words.
instructor counted down. Shut up.
No.
Nothing could have prepared me for this. The sight that I met below me was enchanting, to say the least. The feeling surreal and intoxicating. It was euphoric. Extreme sports are an uncomfortable and counterintuitive act for most sane people. And so I guess I should be questioning my sanity. Oh well, let's leave that for another article, shall we? Back to my adrenaline inducing adventures. My take is just because these kinds of activities are scary and intuitively feels like a bad idea, it doesn't necessarily mean it is. Every time I achieve another milestone, I remind myself that pushing oneself to skydive or jump off a cliff or on a paraglider is a lesson in courage, trust, and perseverance. Once the fear subsides, it can also be an incredibly exhilarating experience. Compelling ourselves into these situations that help us become comfortable taking uncomfortable actions may be one of the most essential aspects to becoming stronger humans. It is also vital to building a successful career. The truth is scary
Wetting the
choices
whistle.
and shut up.
No.
The truth, damn it, dude, choke you through this damn computer, you jackass. The truth is, scary choices empower us. They force us to leave the security of the familiar in favor of the spirit of learning, adventure, and new challenges. To explore unfamiliar territory and ceaselessly push the boundaries of our life skills, employability skills included. As an employer, blah, blah, blah. As an employee or an owner of a company, being in uncomfortable or unfamiliar territory is a nearly daily phenomenon. No kidding. Even outside the
Mhm.
office, we experience the same. How does one rise above the trepidation to make the tough choices and decisions? How does one start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable without having to jump out of a plane, cliff, or bridge? It's about controlling your focus. If you didn't notice your discomfort, would you still be uncomfortable? Discomfort isn't so much a physical state as it is a state of mind. Many of the situations that make us uncomfortable are only uncomfortable because we believe them to be so. Change your views on what makes you uncomfortable, or redefine comfort entirely, and the notion of discomfort will disappear. Every time I attempt a near vertical mountain or public speaking, I say this to myself: it hasn't failed me yet. Practice being around new people. Have you ever been to an event or a country where you felt totally out of place? Afghanistan. That's your comfort zone telling you that you're in the danger zone or experiencing discomfort. Oh shit, chance of getting shot or blown up. You fucking
Exactly.
A. Instead of listening to that inner voice, challenge it and step beyond what you believe to be your comfort zone. Step up and get to know as many people as you can and start conversations out of the blue. What's the worst that can happen? Let's not answer that question about that place. You'll say something wrong and they may move on. Sure, it may hurt your ego a little bit, but you're never going to see them again, are you? So, what are you waiting for? Start by saying hi to me if we don't know each other already, or find a stranger to compliment. Assalamu alaikum. Hang out with diverse thinkers. My fave. We tend to stick around people we like or can easily relate to. However, if we want to practice being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, you should open yourself up to diverse people with diverse thoughts. Yes, it may be a little uncomfortable at first, and you may find yourself arguing with them every once in a while. But you'll eventually realize that such people challenge your assumption of what you believe to be true and ask tough questions you may never have thought of before. A large part of learning and being ready for any challenge in life is accomplished by deliberately putting yourself in challenging situations and being around people who challenge you. Think about who you surround yourself at work versus a person you find inspirational. Does this ring true? And I'll tell you, quick sidebar, like you can tell people that really haven't been in those kind of situations before, they tend to
Oh yeah.
freak the fuck out. And you're just looking at them like, dude, you're not getting shot at. There's no chance of a fucking mine here. Well,
I
there's
I
very little
recognize it.
chance.
I recognize it very, very quickly.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
especially with some like, I'm going to give examples without giving anybody away, or at least I
Right,
hope
right.
not. I notice I've noticed certain individuals like break into a hot sweat. Just completely sweating from
Everybody
here. I mean, they
everybody
get
has a tell.
the pit sweats, and like I mean, they get
Oh,
like, you can tell that their anxiety is like through the flipping roof, and
yeah.
it's absolutely insane seeing that. And the crazy part is like, I know I've never I know I've never really experienced those symptoms before, but I know I experience anxiety in a different way, which is really, really interesting. Um,
Something I've noticed too, like when you have people that aren't used to being in high stress situations, they kind of start raising their voice, like they have to like match the energy of the
like they'll
environment.
be like,
No, no, not really. Like I was at work and um, let's just say one of the folks that was in that environment, just you can tell that they necessarily haven't been in a high stress environment like that what we've been accustomed to, and they're
yeah,
just making a mountain out of a molehill, and it's just like,
exactly.
do you want to calm the fuck down? That'd
They're
be cool.
turning a flea into a tarantula.
Is that Ginger Billy? Is that Ginger Billy? Did he say that? Yes, he did. All right, let's read this last one. The last thing they said is write about it. Not all of our uncomfortable situations are explained on this. are experienced on the spot or are temporary. Some of these uncomfortable situations are long term, resulting in anxiety that piles and adds by the day. For instance, you could be nearing a deadline for a presentation. Writing about your anxiety and the pressure during this time will allow you to express your feelings, clear your head, and get a better picture of what lies ahead. This will also allow you to get organized and figure out what you have accomplished or should be doing to accomplish the task at hand. In my experience, and I'm still learning, once you get comfortable with being a little uncomfortable, you can conquer anything, be it a challenging situation anywhere or just jumping out of an airplane. Geronimo.
Dude,
So,
I got to admit that the part about writing, that's honestly something that I didn't start doing until like journaling didn't really become a thing for me
oh,
until
yeah.
I was probably in my senior year of high school and then on into the military. Um, but I have noticed, especially in my later years, I have written and written and written and written, and I probably have easily anywhere between 5 or 6 journals just filled like to the fucking brim with writing. And I noticed one
Mm-hmm.
thing, especially because I am now writing my own memoir of sorts. Um, there's a lot of things that you
Wait a minute. When the hell did you start writing a memoir? And why the fuck haven't you told me?
I,
I feel like the worst friend ever, dude. That's awesome.
I
Proud of you, dude, man. That's awesome.
I'm already almost 60 pages in, so
Damn.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, dude.
Um, but yeah, I've been writing for so long. It's amazing how much, especially after you do just like a brain dump, like everything that you have here just goes right onto
Oh
the
man.
page,
I mean,
and you just it's very I typically do it at least a page or two before bed. um I haven't been as consistent over the last maybe few weeks or month or so as I want to be. Yep, yep. uh but I try to write at least every other night right before I go to bed, just to kind of just get those thoughts just right
okay.
out.
I
That way
have
I'm
a
not,
ton of
what you
questions.
call
So the therapist part of me is going to jump in here. Do
yitter.
you find that by doing it at night, it just kind of cleanses and clears that mental palette of just everything? It just kind of wipes the slate clean for the next day.
I feel more rested in a weird way when I have written,
Oh, yes.
and it's like, because I think it comes down to the thoughts in my head, you know that the thoughts in my head that I have, because they get taken out of here and written down on the paper. It's 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 almost as if I'm dumping all the excess nonsense, if
What
that makes sense.
form of implement do you use to write thoughts on paper?
um not ballpoint pen, it's the
You use a pen though,
I use a pen,
an ink
correct,
pen.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, real shit, real talk. I have been doing that every so often as well. I am not nearly as consistent as I would even like to imagine myself being, and
Dude,
it's just
I'm
because
telling you.
I'll go back and like it'll be like months since I've written in there. I'm like dadgummit, I did it again. And it says, I'm hopefully going to write in here tomorrow again. So stay tuned. And I always have like some kind of like cheesy, quirky little fucking ending thing. And I'm like, I did it again. I fucking did it again. I did it again. Son of a bitch. But yes, when I do just kind of like, and I've sat there and written like, I wrote down like, I think one time I wrote down like 10 pages, like 5 pages front and back. And I'm just like, damn. Like, and I'm just like, I feel better. Yeah, I feel
Mhm.
hella better. But yeah, dude, like I'll even go like I start talking about all kind of stuff. And for me, I kind of feel like by putting it in pen, I can't go back and erase it later and change how I want to say it. So I have to, one, be cautious and very thoughtful in how I write things down and put them on paper.
Exactly. It makes you
Two,
think a lot. It makes you think
yes,
a lot harder about what you're going to write down, what you're going to say.
absolutely. Absolutely. Two, it gives me a sense of ownership. Like if it's on there, it's in pen, it's permanent. I can't go back and change it. I am owning the shit that I write down. They're good, bad, other, sideways, what the fuck ever. Like I sit there, I put it down on paper, and it's like, yep, I'm good with that. So,
Mhm.
and it just, oh man, dude, you just brought a lot of that up. Wow. That's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. This is why we're best friends, folks, because we think like this.
Indeed.
Indeed. So, but yeah, uncomfortable moments, man. Like whether it's I think I had one for the first time with my daughter the other day. Like I went to give
Yeah.
her a hug and kiss something like I love you. She just got out of the car and just went and scurried off to be one of their friends. I'm just like, oh man, nobody pays me in gum. And I was like, son of a bitch, like fuck, man. And I was just like,
Ah,
oh, you better get used to that. You have a daughter who's going into fourth grade next year. It's gonna get worse.
worse.
Fuck my life. Anyway, so
Indeed.
but yeah, I mean, writing that stuff down, dude, like, oh, dude, especially when I have like a lot of shit going on. I haven't written in there in a
Yeah.
while. I think, man, I'm gonna do that this weekend, like straight up. I think I'm gonna sit down with that and
I'm telling you, dude.
pencil away, dude.
I have journals specifically. This is just one that I have that I freaking
A little
this
closer, I
is
can't see what you wrote.
that true, but it's this is also just kind of like a more like a brainstorming journal that I have.
Yeah, I got you.
Also kind of like a, you know, study type journal as well, if that makes sense. I
Sure.
have journals for many different purposes.
Yep. If I have ideas, I usually write them down on my laptop and I kind of organize them that way and shit. So,
Ideas.
but do you have anything else you want to add to that, my good man?
No, I'm good, man.
Okay.
I think we touched on it like I, I think in the best way possible. Like
Yeah,
you know, it was kind of like I mean we screwed around for a little bit, but it's kind of one of those things where this is
that's what
kind
we
of one of
do,
those
baby. That is
conversations.
what we do.
It's one of those conversations where we do it to kind of ease and break the tension for especially for people that are uncomfortable talking about being uncomfortable with
They're not
things that
comfortable being uncomfortable yet.
yet. And I feel like it's a good icebreaker the way we did it because a lot of people are not comfortable facing the things that do make them uncomfortable. But my hope is that at the end of this episode, you can look back at everything we discussed and you can look at the things that you're facing. I hope this is a way of you, to all our listeners and viewers out there, this is a way of you kind of taking, like a self, a self account of yourself, of your actions, of the thoughts that you have in your head, and then like kind of addressing that in a kind of weird way. If you're not journaling,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, if you're not journaling as especially as a functional adult, what the fuck are you doing?
Why
As a
aren't you
functional
doing that?
adult, if you are not journaling,
See, I wish I would
that's
have went
part of
back
the
like
problem of your anxiety.
when we went and did the horse therapy thing a while back. I would have
Yeah.
wished that I would have fucking wrote some shit down while I had the thoughts fresh in my head and stuff. I'm like, oh,
The
that'd been great.
where the wherewithal.
The wherewithal.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, appreciate everybody for stopping by for our chat on comfortably uncomfortable. Please, by all means, feel free to leave us your thoughts, whether it's
Indeed.
comments on. If you're watching this on YouTube, we didn't do the normal intro that we normally do either, so we're gonna have to do that now. But feel free to give comments on if you're watching on YouTube, any of the social media apps.
Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit that Rumble button over there on the Rumble as well. Also, follow, and subscribe on any of your audio platforms of choice.
And as we'll say here in a minute, don't be afraid to pass this along either to your friends. We're like we're
Bazinga.
like we're like those awesome weed brownies at Christmas. Just pass them around the office. It's all good. Anyway, so um, getting into what we normally talk about at the end of the show, we started this podcast as a way to pay tribute and keep the memory of our good friend John alive. John's a guy that we both worked with when we were at um, a business. We worked all for the same business at the same
A
time.
specific retail
A
store.
specific retail store in Tampa, Florida, that is in firearms and whatnot. But anyway,
Yeah.
John was a great dude. He was a funny fucker to be around all the time. Like we used to just do the dumbest shit at work, and he could break that tension of being comfortably uncomfortable so fucking well. Just the from the playing the whole game, freaking photocopying his hand like this and sticking it in the cash
Yeah.
register. Oh my god!
I started doing that at work.
No shit.
Don't ask.
Nice. But John unfortunately gave in to some demons, and he solved a temporary
Sure.
problem with a permanent solution. And that's
Mhm.
unfortunate because John was one of those guys that just deserved to be around. He should, by all means, he should still be here. He has every right to still be here, but that's just not possible. So, um,
Yeah.
in the process of us working with and for Alamo's lovely bride for an event she was doing, Alamo calls me up. He's like, dude, let's do something. Let's get the band back together. You know, let's do something.
We were just
So we,
sitting out there, and that was a beautiful. There was some beautiful fucking weather that day, man.
oh, it was gorgeous. It was a little hot, but it wasn't that bad. We were
It
out in
was
the,
a little bit warm.
we were under the trees. wasn't that bad? Not like the last one we did. We're out there at the last.
Sweltering.
Oh Jesus!
But I got up a good sweat, so I was perfectly fine with
Thank
that.
good we rolled the sleeves up on our camo tops, dude, because I was fucking been dying. But anyway, so we started talking about what we could do, and Alamo brought up the idea of a podcast, and I made the comment, dude, I don't know shit about a podcast. To which he said, "They put a monkey in space. How hard can it be?" And I said, hashtag facts, so whatever. So here we are. So as a way to help everybody stay around and keep their head in the game and emotionally maintain that head on a swivel, objectivity and accountability, what's going on around you, we developed the Bros Code. And what the Bros Code is four easy things you can remember to just keep yourself in the game. Okay. And it's easy to remember. If you can remember the letters BROS, you're going to be fucking rocking.
Right as rain.
You're gonna be right as rain, batting 1,000. Okay. So be tenacious. No matter what you choose to do in life, um, do it to the fullest of your ability. Like we were sitting here joking around before the show, like we always do. And there's a great a rap artist by the name of Logic, and I think he's pretty talented. That's just me. I'm not saying he's the greatest. I'm not saying he's a goat. I like him. He's got a cool message. Um, and his videos are pretty funny too. But he has a song called Every Day, and the first words of this one song are, "I work hard every motherfucking day." I'm just like, yeah, okay, let's get it. Let's be that tenacious, folks. Let's get out and fucking work hard every motherfucking day. Yay, yay,
Every day.
yay. Sorry, I had to listen to that. That just made you uncomfortable. Sorry. But yeah, get out there and be tenacious. No matter what you do, do it to the fullest and utmost of your abilities. Whether it's being a first responder, a service member, a parent, being a step parent, an adoptive parent, whatever the hell the case may be. Go out there and just kick ass
Listen,
at it.
folks, be tenacious in everything. Okay, listen to my good friends Mac and Alamo over there at the Battle Bros, podcast, folks. It's a great podcast. If you're not listening, what are you doing with your lives if you're not listening to this? Okay, so
That's going to be so much better on the audio platforms because they can't see me hide my face and you get your face all scrunched up. That was actually really good. That was fucking. That was stellar. Your impersonation
these
of
gentlemen, okay,
our former
these gentlemen,
president is
they're
tenacious as hell.
they're tremendous. They're tremendous. Very very good folks. Very
Thank
good
you.
men.
Thank you, Mr. President. R, refuse to surrender. No matter what happens in life, just remember to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, Pull yourself up by your bootstrap, your jock strap, your bra strap, whatever the fuck strap you need to have.
Damn
Pick
right.
yourself up by your strap. If you're carrying a gun, pick yourself up by your gun. Just be like, all right, let's fucking Charlie Mike this motherfucker. Keep
Yeah.
going. Don't stop. Okay. Remember, you have things you're trying to accomplish, things you're trying to do. Keep going until you hit that X, that mark,
That's
that
right.
grid square, that OBJ, whatever the case may be. Obliterate your obstacles. As I mentioned with the last one, things happen. You get off track, you get sideways, you get off course, turned around. You could be like a butterbar, get lost in the woods. Hey, we've all been there. Okay, it's all good.
Bye.
Don't worry about it. Just remember, no matter what happens, if you have an obstacle, maneuver around it, clear it, breach it, whatever you got to do. If it's a wall, climb over, climb under, go around. If it's a locked, barricaded door, C4 Bangalore's. Sure. Why? Because fucking America. Why not? Okay. Sometimes you need to put a hole in a
Obliterate your
building.
obstacles, whether it's in life or in business. Okay. The art of the deal. Read it in my book. Okay. Do what the Battle Bros says. Okay.
Sometimes you got to do what Alamo did and drive a striker through that shit backwards. Hey,
Damn right.
hey, Sarge, there's a fucking hole here now.
I was TC at that
Well, yeah, whatever. Kicking the dude in the helmet to get him to stop. All right. No matter what happens, obliterate your obstacles. Just remember to keep moving on and hit that mark that you're that goal, that objective, that accomplishment that you're trying to hit. Okay. The last thing is S. Seek out help in a time of need. Like our friend John, there's nothing we wouldn't have done to help him out because he was a good dude. And unfortunately, as we said, he chose to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution, and that's unfortunate because John was a good dude. Okay. What's really awful is that when you have 22 veterans today on average ending their life because they can't get help or they don't feel like there is any help, that's
or that nobody
significant.
will listen.
Or that nobody will listen. That's significant. Okay.
Yeah.
But what's really shitty, sorry, dry mouth sitting in hardcore right now. What's really shitty is when one of those 22 people is somebody that you know, somebody that you have, worked with and stood beside and laughed with and cried with and all that kind of shit. So, either which way you think about it, 22 nameless people or at least one person that you know and can think back of good times that you spent with them. Like it still fucking sucks either which way. So
Yeah.
if you feel like you're headed down that path, like reach out, call somebody, be tenacious enough to say, hey, I need some fucking help. Call somebody, whether it's somebody you served with, a coworker, a friend, a family member. If you feel like you can trust them to have a conversation with you and not judge the hell out of you, because let's face it, we live in a judgmental society nowadays. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's not always
a good thing.
It's not always conducive to what we're talking about, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you feel like you don't have anybody you can reach out to, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. There's two ways you can get a hold of them. The first number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can do the last four digits as TALK, 1-800-273-TALK. That's Tango Alpha Lima Kilo for us military
Last
fuckers.
4 digits.
Last 4 digits. You can also dial 988, or text 988. Because let's face it, we live in a social media world nowadays. You can text message almost any damn body. Feel free to reach them out either which way. They have somebody on hand, on staff, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're in dire needs, if you feel like you're going to hurt yourself, dial 1, and they'll get somebody on the line for you. So if we could, if we could say that we didn't have to do this show and that John was still around, then hey, we would fucking do that. But he's not. He's unfortunately gone, and here we are to kind of carry this mission forward. So if you could remember those 4 things: be tenacious, refuse to surrender, obliterate your obstacles, seek out help in a time of need. If you can follow those 4 easy steps, hopefully you can help yourself to not be the next John that we know. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. I do. Okay, let me stop and go back and rewind. If we have a bunch of followers, great. That's not my most important metric. My most important metric is how many people that we've saved. You know,
Yeah.
if we can save one person, say, hey, you know what? Somebody shared this show with me. You guys are both fucking insane. You're ridiculous. You're irreverent, and you're morons. But I heard what you said. I was going to put a fucking gun in my mouth and eat a bullet, but I didn't. Or I didn't drink myself stupid, or I didn't swallow a bunch of sleeping pills.
Yeah.
That to me is our most important metric. If we can stop somebody from hurting themselves, that's going to be the greatest compliment in the world. And it's going to give me the biggest sense of euphoria, like almost the same as my kid being born. You know, it would just be absolutely insane. So, at
It
this
would be
point,
titties.
it would be it would be titties.
It
So
would be
at
titties.
this point, I'm going to hand you off to Alamo. He's going to cover all the social media type stuff, and then we're gonna do. Should we tell him what our next episode is going to be on for our season finale? Since we've kind of figured that out, or you want to tease it a little bit, or do you want to play it close to the vest?
I think we should tease it just a little bit, right
All
at
right,
the very end.
right at the very end. So, all
Yeah, right at the very
right,
end.
do your thing there, dude.
So, if you want to catch up with us and also contact us, you can do that all over the social medias. You can find us over on facebook.com/battlebros.podcast. Um, you can do that at the Insta at battlebros_podcast. And you can also do it on Twitter. You know, our little Twitter handle right there. That's at Battle Bros PC. You can instant message us and you can tweet us. You can tweet us on the Twitter. Go ahead and you can throw messages to us there. We say this all the time, me and Mac. This is mainly a community building tool. This is not. I mean, yes, we're trying to get views and we're trying to get, but this is a community. We're trying to build up a spot where we can talk to fellow veterans. We can talk to everybody that, in all honesty, I mean, our fellow veterans, you know, you guys, you fucking mean the world to us. Otherwise we wouldn't be fucking doing this show. Um, so really our biggest thing is, you know, spread the word. Try and do your best to freaking contact us. If you have a buddy of yours or a family member or whatever, and you feel like they need to talk or whatever, you feel like they need somebody that they can, message or whatever, that you feel maybe us retarded ass guys, me and Mac, freaking, you know, hey, you guys are freaking dumb as a box of rocks, but hey, my cousin, my
You
brother,
wouldn't
my
be
sister,
wrong. You wouldn't be wrong. So
my,
it's okay.
they might get you, just send them our way to freaking, because again, what Max said was very relevant. We want to be there when someone writes us or someone tells us, I was going to end it all, but you know just the random goofy shit that you guys said just kind of made me stop in my tracks, you know
If we can talk about that kind of goofy shit in a way where, like, I think a lot of people get turned off from looking at it from a very clinical, therapeutic type way. But if we can sit
Correct.
there and,
Yeah.
kind of breach the subject just by being a little bit, humorous about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I knocked something over. If you can be kind of humorous about it, just kind of break that tension, like you said earlier, there, Alamo.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a lot easier for people to kind of use that as a receptive way to discuss things like this. So,
It'll be a little bit easier for them to digest. Hey.
okay, keep going there, voice box, whatever.
So, also, if
I don't
you
know where that came from. Like, he just starts talking in a Scottish accent all of a sudden.
if you if you feel like maybe messaging us on social media is a little bit less private than you probably would want, we have a Gmail. You could go ahead and contact us there as well at battlebrospc@gmail.com. I unfortunately have not been keeping up on it. I really do apologize for that. Mac, you've been keeping up on it though, right?
The Gmail account,
Yes.
I check it at least once a week. Just
So
it's been a little hard lately with everything going on at work
yeah.
and with everything else. So no
So
excuse, but
right.
we're gonna. That's why we're kind of taking some time off, just kind of realign some things and
Exactly.
all that kind of shit. But
So
we'll get into that.
again, the Gmail, it is checked every week. Okay. So I would not, I wouldn't put it past us to have something that ends up getting to it that if you guys send it in because you want it to be a little bit more private, hey, do your fucking thing. Don't freaking do anything that's going to be permanent. Freaking message us and hey, we'll talk to you. Freaking, I'll even if the message gets back to me and you want a video chat, hey, I'll video chat. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
So I just checked it.
I'm just
We're good. The last one we got
yeah,
was April 4th, and it was in regards to something else. So
gotcha.
we're good. But we're gonna try to
But
start staying up on that, folks.
you're damn right. And I myself specifically, I'm gonna try and do better at it. Um, but yeah, man, it's really about just building community, and that's what we're here for. If you uh like what you see and you like what you hear, like I said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and all that good stuff. Rumble and the like button. If for some whatever reason you're on the road and you should not be watching us while you're driving, listen to us
Because
on
that would
whatever
be
you.
dumb, and you people aren't dumb.
Exactly.
You're smart because you listen to our show.
Correct.
Carry on, you beautiful sons of bitches.
Go ahead and catch us on pretty much like any of the most popular audio platforms you can find us on. You can find us now on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Audible. You can find us on Amazon Music. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Music. You can find us on Google Podcasts. I mean, that's what, 6 platforms already. Uh, we're out there, folks. Just find us out there anywhere you can, and just give us a listen. Share the message. Go ahead and follow us on any one of those platforms,
Yeah.
and we will say hi, and we will thank you, and we will. Hey, I'm not gonna do that. It was
I don't know what
funny.
you just did.
It was gonna be bad. Let's just put it that way. But
So shut up. So the last shout out
no,
we want to give is to our good friend Amelia. She has a bit of a side hustle that we
yes, she does.
want to talk to you about. It's called Sassy Girl Apothecary. That's SASSYGURL Apothecary. If you can look that up, there is a website that Alma's going to pull up here and show you here in just a second. She makes handmade soaps and candles and sugar scrubs and all this good stuff. If you go on their website, on her website, it's great stuff. It's all homemade. It's very, um, it's just awesome shit. Like I love using the denim and leather scented bar soap. It makes you feel great. It exfoliates. It just makes you feel very rugged as a man. Alamo here likes using the rum coffee flavor and scent.
Oh,
He's
dude.
he's down with that stuff. He
Yeah.
gets out of the shower. He's like, I just want to drink myself, and I'm like, you kind of can't. That's weird. You fucking weirdo. So you don't do that. But she's got all kind of stuff on her. She's got candles. She's got soaps. She's got sugar scrubs. It's not very expensive. Please show her some love. She's been a friend of ours. She's been a friend of mine for longer than either one of us wants to admit, and she's been friends of both of ours and very supportive of our show. So we want to try to return the favor to her. Her website is Sassy Girl Apothecary. That's SASSYGURL
Yes,
Apothecary
sir.
.squarespace.com. Please check it out.
Oh
Give it a like.
yeah.
There you go. He's bringing it up right now. Hey, yo, there we go. So, like I said, she's got cool stuff for everyone. She also makes these really good charcoal soap bars, which are awesome for exfoliation. Like, check that shit out. It's great. It's
Essential oil batch soaps. Oof. It's no wonder
small
that shit
batch.
feels. It's no wonder that shit feels so good on the face whenever I fucking shave.
There you go. I think I might try that, dude. Like, no joke.
Dude,
I'm gonna try it.
dude,
So
yes.
please, by all means, check it out. We think you'll like it. That's why we're talking about it. We're not trying to get any type of royalty from this. We're just telling you about it because it's cool. We both use it, and we're not going to stick our name on any type of endorsement that we're not absolutely 100% behind or not using ourselves. So please check it
That's
out. We think
right.
you'll like it. On that note, I think we're going to be wrapping it up right now for this week's episode. Thanks so much for stopping by. This has been episode 065, talking about being comfortably uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Next week is going to be our season 3 finale. It's episode 066. We have decided we are going to have a cool chat on the topic. I almost said subject as opposed to subject and topic.
Subject.
I think words. I peed in your pool, yay! So
I want to go to Hawaii. Yay.
what a great fucking show that was, Crank
I've
Yankers.
got mail. I've got mail.
Um, Jesus.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. So next week we're going to have a conversation on the topic of identity. That's going to be our season 3 finale. We're going to have a pretty good talk. The last 2 seasons we've done, we've had some pretty serious, in-depth, heart-to-heart chats on suicide and suicide recovery, prevention, and we also had one on season 2. We had Dr. Gino on. He talked about recovery.
Dr. G.
And this time we're going to have a slightly different kind of talking about identity and why it's important to you and everything else. So we would really hope that you check us out next week when we have our discussion live on YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday night, which will be May 12th. Until that time, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and joining us as we had this conversation. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody. And we will hope to see you next week for our season 3 finale. Jesus.
Finalio.
Until that time, this has been the Battle Bros podcast with myself, Mac, and my co-host, this handsome son of Boricua, SOB Alamo. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you down the road. Y'all take it easy out there.
Battle Bros. Out.
Take it easy, y'all.